Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4 is the best Resident Evil game ever made. No, I'm not talking about the Resident Evil 4 remake starring a younger Leon Kennedy that looks like handsome Squidward, except with hair. No, I'm talking about the original Resident Evil 4 that launched in 2005 on the Nintendo GameCube. Here's a short history lesson. Capcom created the Resident Evil franchise in 1996, which really put the survival horror genre on the map. It inspired an entire generation of horror titles, including games like Deep Fear for the Saturn and Silent Hill on the PlayStation. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 all featured static backgrounds, item management, jump scares, and tank controls. Series creator Shinji Mikami wanted to do something different with Resident Evil 4. There was an early prototype of the game which had Leon Kennedy make his way through a mansion while dealing with hallucinations. This version of the game didn't get made and was scrapped shortly afterwards. It was simply too similar to the Resident Evil games that came before it, and Capcom wasn't satisfied with it. So then the entire game was remade with a larger focus on action. In this Resident Evil, players were no longer constrained to hallways and rooms. The initial village encounter in Resident Evil 4 was a literal game changer. You could open doors, jump through windows, climb ladders, and move furniture to fortify the building. The freedom of movement was unlike anything players had seen before in a Resident Evil game. The enemies were also much more intelligent and menacing to deal with than your average zombie. They looked for ways to surround you, they could communicate with each other, break through doors and windows, and throw sickles at your head. This was a massive departure from the gameplay that Resident Evil was previously known for. It was fast-paced, frantic, and downright terrifying at times. To their credit, Capcom also took measures to ensure it still felt like a Resident Evil game. This includes inventory management, using herbs to heal, incorporating the Umbrella Corporation into the story, and one could even argue tank controls. That's right, Resident Evil 4 still uses tank controls. You cannot strafe or move while aiming, just like the original Resident Evil games. This would change in Resident Evil 5 as the series slipped further into the action genre. Just like how the original Resident Evil inspired an entire generation of other games, Resident Evil 4 inspired a ton of other games and continues to inspire more games. This includes games like Gears of War, Dead Space, and even the Silent Hill 2 remake. Seriously, take a look at this screenshot from Resident Evil 4. Now take a look at this screenshot from the Silent Hill 2 remake. It's the same picture. Konami turned Silent Hill 2 into Resident Evil 4 because Resident Evil 4 is just so damn good. Hell, even Capcom themselves are still making Resident Evil games in this style. Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube is one of the highest rated games of all time according to Metacritic. Since its release, it has been ported to just about every other system out there, so no matter how you play Resident Evil 4, you can't go wrong. However, there is one specific version that stands out as the best, in my opinion, and that's the Wii version. The Wii version takes the original GameCube version and gives it native widescreen support. The Wii remote supplies gamers with the ability to aim with ease and precision, and when you reload your weapon, the reload sound effect plays through the Wii remote speaker in your hand. It's a simple feature, but so very cool. Resident Evil 4 does so many things right that some might even argue that the game is perfect, that it accomplishes everything it sets out to do. It tells a new story and is a refreshing change from the traditional Resident Evil formula. It even has the Separate Ways side mission with Ada Wong and the Mercenaries mode, which is great fun. Additionally, the PC version has tons of fun and interesting mods as well, including an enemy randomizer, which makes for some hilarious results. Oh, Jesus! No! Get me out of this death trap. Oh shit! The Resident Evil franchise is filled with excellent games that deserve your attention. Even though I believe Resident Evil 4 is the best in the franchise, that doesn't mean that the other games are underwhelming. On the contrary, there's a multitude of amazing experiences to be had in the other games. Whether it's Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 0, or Resident Evil 7.
be looking for you.
There's something for every type of horror game fan. Although the Resident Evil 4 remake has been out for some time now, I still highly recommend you go play through the original if you haven't already. The game has aged so well that I personally didn't feel that a remake was necessary, but I have to commend Capcom for keeping the Resident Evil franchise fresh and going strong. I look forward to the future of the series with anticipation. Do you agree with my assessment? What's your favorite Resident Evil title? Let me know in the comments below and I look forward to reading them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some Mercenaries mode to play. I'll see you again soon.
Oh, la campana.
Es hora de rezar. Tenemos que irnos.
Lord Sattler.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?